My latest book is Bald Faced Liar, and it's actually my 10th suspense, so that's a fun anniversary. And it is the story of Elizabeth May, who is a woman who lies to everyone about everything in her life. And it's a self defense mechanism. She had traumatic childhood. She was involved in the Satanic Panic trial in the 1990, 1991. And so she doesn't trust anyone around her and she doesn't trust herself because all the adults around her were lying about what happened. She was lying about what happened. So her lies about herself are a means of keeping people at a distance. And she's a traveling nurse. She moves about every 6 months or so. And suddenly there's a stalker in her life who seems to know the truth about her. And she has no idea how that could be possible. And I would say that this book is it's a thriller and there's a lot of dark stuff in it, but it's also fun and a little funny. So for me, it's writing it was a great escape from all the dark stuff going on in the world right now. And I think it would be a great escape for readers to read it. I think it's her personality and her internal dialogue is that's how she gets through life. It's like, most comedians have had a very traumatic life, right? And you learn to look at the funny side of things because it's a coping mechanism. So, for instance, in one scene in the book, she has some blood on her and so she makes it into like her first instinct is to say it has something to do with her period, and then she just like is babbling and like just digging deeper into this, like she should have stopped talking but she can't because she's nervous. So yeah, so for me it's really, I mean, I had a very kind of chaotic childhood and we were very poor, and my dad left before I was born, and, in my family, we just laugh at everything. So that's sort of the same take in the suspense, I think, if you're writing it with some humor. I certainly have an inner monologue. And in fact, she has a very weird sense of humor, and it's basically my sense of humor. That's the thing that we have in common. But for me, when I'm writing, sometimes I really love deep point of view. Sometimes it's really easy to get there with a character like this who has a very strong personality. It does feel like it's just you're sinking into something that it sort of overtakes you and it's easy to write. Sometimes it's harder to get into a character's head, either because I haven't gotten to know them as well as I should yet, or because they're a person who's very closed off, personality wise. So yeah, for me, it's just like letting this person come through if you can. It makes the writing just a hell of a lot easier. I gave her a job of traveling nurse so she can leave anytime that she wants to if she feels like people are asking too many questions. So she does have an official identity for work and her nursing license and for leasing things. But her name is Elizabeth, which I chose deliberately because for her, she can explain it to herself like she's Liz to this person, she's Beth to this person, she's Betty to this person, she's Eliza to this other person. And she can explain it away like those are all nicknames of Elizabeth. I can choose any nickname that I want to. So for her, she does have an official identity, but it's almost like so she had these traumatic experiences from age 5 to 7, and then on up with some bullying and stuff. Um, and it's almost like building a fantasy life for herself in the way that a little kid would. She talks about this wonderful mother she has who moved to Florida and they're going to go to all these museums when she comes to visit, when in fact she doesn't have any relationship with her parents anymore. So it's almost escapism for her, I think.